A man stole a bulldozer and drove it through a neighborhood, destroying Biden campaign signs. Another man was mauled by a leopard after paying for a full contact cat experience. A lady went into labor but stopped on the way to the hospital to cast her vote. And another woman shot a man who gave her counterfeit money in a drug deal. These are the weird stories for Friday, and they're all from Florida, because it's Florida Friday on Weird AF News. This is the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian, and the only daily weird news podcast that has Florida Friday. The only.
Those bizarre stories you hear about all the time that seem to only happen here in Florida.
I know, right?
Can't make this stuff up. It is just one of the many wacky news stories out of Florida.
Why does the Sunshine State consistently produce such strange news?
But what accounts for all this bizarre news? Is it the weather? Is it the people?
Florida is full of the crazy stories.
A Florida man stole a bulldozer and then drove through a neighborhood, destroying Biden campaign signs, police say. A man in Florida has been accused of stealing a bulldozer, then destroying residential yards in order to remove Biden-Harris campaign signs. What's this guy's name? This anti-Biden dude who also likes to play with large vehicles, operating heavy machinery under the influence of Florida, are we? James Blight, age 26, was arrested and charged with grand theft auto. Also, trespassing. Because when you drive a bulldozer through people's yards, apparently that's trespassing. Yeah, not your typical trespassing where you jump a fence. It's a different kind of trespassing where you drive through a fence. Police say this Mr. Blight, isn't it kind of fitting that his last name is Blight, which means like a calamity? Mr. Blight stole the bulldozer from a construction site and then drove it through Haines City, ramming it through residential fences, taking what happened there? Taking out a city-owned speed limit sign while digging up signs displayed to support Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's election campaign. Here's a quote from a public information officer for the city police. Blight told police that he had been drinking whiskey all day, did not remember most of the day, as a matter of fact. He said he couldn't help but hit the Joe Biden signs and acknowledged taking down a few fences in the process. Mr. Blight said he did not know how to operate the equipment in the first damn place. Well, he did a pretty good job, apparently, taking down all those signs while not injuring a single person. That's pretty impressive. It's absurd that a grown man could think he had the right to destroy someone else's property based on a difference in political opinions. The fact that he was driving this heavy equipment that he did not even know how to operate down busy roads could have been disastrous, if you ask me. We're thankful no one was hurt in the matter. A former mayor named Mr. Burgess said that Blight took down Biden signs from his yard, then knocked down his fence with the bulldozer. To come into our community and destroy property, it speaks to the dog whistles that Donald Trump has been putting out this whole campaign. Stand back and stand by, and we have guys and bulldozers doing this? What does the president have to say about that? That's what the guy said. This incident is the latest in a string of incidents involving vandalized campaign signs. Signs supporting President Trump and Biden have been targeted by vandals in Wisconsin and Minnesota. Signs were stolen from lawns in Arizona. Meanwhile, a city employee in Michigan cut his fingers on razor blades that were put on the bottom of a Trump sign he was trying to move, while a man in Massachusetts had a Biden-Harris sign made of hay bales lit on fire earlier this month. Oh boy. Well, this is a very steamy campaign, okay? A lot of people feel very strongly this time around. More people are voting than ever, so you're going to get some people who feel very strongly. And they're going to tear down your signs. They're going to poop on them. They're going to burn them. They're going to perform some witchcraft. And in Florida, I mean, they're just going to take a bulldozer and drive right through your house to let you know that they don't appreciate your signs that are in the front yard. A Florida man was mauled by a leopard after paying for a full contact experience with a big cat. Davie, Florida. A man paid $150 for a full contact experience, quote, with a black leopard. This man says He had to undergo multiple surgeries after he was mauled by this fully grown animal in an enclosure behind a Davie home. Behind a home? You mean in a backyard of some regular person, a resident? You paid for a full contact experience with a black leopard that was in someone's backyard? You're surprised you had to undergo multiple surgeries, sir? What is this moron's name? Oh, Dwight Turner. You know, people named Dwight, they just make bad decisions. Did you notice that? A picture obtained by local news shows Mr. Turner's heavily bandaged head and his ear after a savage attack, which detectives from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission say happened behind a home. Oh no, I hate to laugh, but I mean, you're just an idiot, man. The man who lives there, identified as Michael Pogge, has a Facebook page saying that he runs an animal sanctuary for not another one in Florida. Haven't you guys seen the Netflix series? Don't you know better? He runs an animal sanctuary for rare and endangered animals. I tell you, that Tiger King series is just having a terrible influence on the world. It really is. People just think they can now have big cats in their yard and charge people to come and pet them. Investigators say this Pogge charged Turner $150 for a full contact experience with his black leopard. What do you get with a full contact experience? Well, you get to play with it, rub its belly, take photos, and have your ear ripped off. Apparently, that's the that's the full contact experience. The report says that once Mr. Turner walked into the leopard enclosure, the big cat just attacked him. No warning. Didn't say what's up, just jumped on his face. That was that. The injuries were unfortunately so severe. The victim's scalp was apparently hanging from his head, and his right ear was torn in half. Jeez. Sorry for those details. They were in the article. Authorities say Mr. Pogge was charged with allowing full contact with an extremely dangerous animal and was cited for maintaining captive wildlife in an unsafe condition. Oh, you mean in his backyard? It's not okay? Well, oh no, actually, check this out. Authorities say Mr. Pogge is actually licensed to have the leopard. They say Pogge admitted to them what he did was illegal. I guess you can have the leopard. You just can't charge admission to the leopard's claws and mouth. You can't do that. You can't charge people for the full contact scalp removal experience. A Florida woman goes into labor, and on the way to the hospital, she stops to cast her vote. Oh, yes, a very determined Florida woman in Orange County is making some headlines around the country after she made her hubby pull over into the elections office so she could make sure to cast her ballot before delivering that baby. I got a quote here from someone who was on the scene. Her name is Karen Gonzalez. She works at the elections office in Orlando. She's the one who sprang in to help make sure the woman got the chance to cast that ballot before she went to the hospital. Karen said she was quite calm, surprisingly, but the husband was a little nervous. Karen says that the woman's husband showed up in line, asked for a ballot for his wife. They asked to see a license. That's when the husband told Karen that actually his wife is pregnant and in the car waiting while in labor. His wife, he says, refused to go to the hospital until she was able to cast her vote. Well, the staff kicked it into high gear. They grabbed a vote by mail ballot and raced to the car to check her ID. Karen Gonzalez said she thought the woman would fill it out later, right? Like a normal person. She'd go to the hospital, have the baby, then fill it out later. Oh, no, that didn't happen. The lady said she wanted to fill it out right then and there. Here's a quote from Karen. So the woman in labor filled out her ballot while doing a little controlled breathing. She was very happy she got to vote. Her vote was then certified and put right in the ballot box. The employees at the elections office gave the child already in the car an American flag before they drove away to the hospital. I'll tell you right now, this man is pretty crazy to pull over in the middle of labor to have his wife grab a ballot. I mean, he could have done this afterward. You got to convince your wife, just go to the hospital, bro. Like, what are you pulling over to vote for? This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Unnecessary, okay? The deadline isn't here yet, all right? You don't have to vote early. Have the baby first. You know, what are you thinking, this crazy Florida woman? To want to vote that much, did she think she wasn't going to live through the labor? I mean, I don't know what she's thinking, but clearly she felt that she had to do it right then and there. I would not have brought her there if I was the husband. That's for damn sure. And then stand in line while she's in the car, in that hot car, doing her breathing exercises. Are you out of your mind, sir? Are you okay? But I tell you, this is just a testament on how strong people feel about this election. They want to vote before they do anything, even, deliver a baby. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. A Florida woman shot a man just to watch him die. I'm kidding. She shot a man who gave her counterfeit cash during a drug deal. A woman allegedly shot a man in a Publix parking lot. No, nothing good happening in a Publix parking lot. That's almost as bad as a Walmart parking lot. This guy apparently gave this woman counterfeit cash during a drug deal that they had set up over Snapchat. I had no idea that drug deals are now happening over Snapchat. And TikTok, I'd imagine, as well. According to Boynton Beach Police, 21-year-old Michaela Francisco was arrested on charges of aggravated battery, carrying a concealed firearm during the commission of a felony, and improper exhibition of a firearm. Improper exhibition of a firearm? You mean shooting somebody with it? Is that the improper exhibition? How dare you exhibit the gun in that manner? I mean shooting people with it. This Francisco girl allegedly arranged to meet a man in a parking lot to sell him some marijuana. Oh, drug deals are still happening involving marijuana? It's so nice to hear. I thought those days were over. I mean, can't we all buy marijuana in stores now? I mean, the thrill of the drug deal is just going out the window, I tell you. But nice to hear it's still happening in Florida. Marijuana deals. This lady tells the detectives in an interview that the man got out of his car, came up to her passenger side window, tossed the money into her car after she gave him the marijuana. Officers say Michaela noticed the money the man gave her was, quote, obviously fake. I don't know what that means, obviously fake. I wish I could see a picture of it. Was it just a stack of Monopoly money? Those purple and pink colors? Was it that? She says it was obviously fake money, so she pulled out her gun as he started to drive away. She fired several shots at his car. I guess that's what you mean by unlawful exhibition. When the police arrived on the scene, they found a car that had crashed into concrete barriers near the entrance of the grocery store, as well as 7 shell casings in the parking lot. I guess she shot the car up, huh? The man was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Michaela Francisco was detained after she was found waiting in the parking lot. She was just waiting. This girl was a badass, I'll tell you right now. You picked the wrong girl to give some Monopoly money to for a marijuana exchange, I'll tell you right now, sir. I am Michaela Francisco, and I will not accept Monopoly money for this marijuana. Yay! Hey, my fellow weirdos. Thanks for listening to another episode of Florida Friday, and thank you for sending me articles if you did. I appreciate that. It means a lot. There was a lot of great stories this week coming out of Florida, and so, I appreciate all that participation. It's Halloween weekend, I assume, when you're listening to this, so I hope you're having a nice Halloween, maybe doing a little partying, but also, being safe about it. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. It always has been, because I enjoy the macabre, the M-A-C-A-B-R-E, the macabre. I just always thought that was a fun word. Yeah, I like scary movies. I like scary shit. I always have as a child. I remember the first time I went to Disney, the Haunted Mansion. That was my jam. I'm like, I want to go to the Haunted Mansion. I just was like, I wanted to go on again and again and again. That was my thing. I've always loved scary things. So it's always been one of my favorite holidays. And I hope that this year it will still feel like Halloween despite everything that's going on. Maybe I can find some sort of skeleton strip club on someone's front lawn and get myself a lap dance by a skeleton. That's a throwback. That's a callback to a story that I did earlier this week. If you weren't listening, what else did I want to say? I think that's about it. If you're feeling festive and you want to join the Patreon, check that out. Patreon.com/WeirdAFNews. I'll be making a Halloween-themed video in the Patreon. But you can only see it if you're part of the Patreon. So patreon.com/weirdafnews. Join it. Have a great Halloween. Tell a friend. Subscribe, like it, give me a review, all that crap. Why do I say these things? It's like, why do I order you guys to do things? I shouldn't do that. I should just say, have a nice weekend. Enjoy Halloween. Eat some candy. Go trick-or-treating in your neighborhood if they'll allow it, but, maintain social distancing. Yada, yada, yada. I love you. Happy Halloween.
I gotta tell you, Jonesy, Australia is starting to sound a lot like the second cousin to Florida, if you know what I mean.
Oh, hey now, Jonesy, that was just mildly inappropriate there, son. I do happen to have a red-headed stepchild, and I love her dearly. But then again, if she was collecting skulls and keeping them on the mantle, I may think differently. Hey, Jonesy, that there stripper skeleton there, that gives a whole new meaning to Bird of the Bone. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, brother. Hey there, Jonesy. I'm thinking about hitting you up there on the bat phone. Maybe me and you, we can get something going here with that offended island. You got your connections in Hollywood. We can make this a reality show. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got, though. I'm just telling you, you're doing a good job, brother. Jonesy, any good strip club patron knows if you make it rain, you can't put the water back in the cloud. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get upset and throw $100 grand in the air. Say goodbye.